they're Bolsheviks, so they probably do hate the American founders and most white people in general. This is a Bolshevistic anti-white campaign. If you can't see that, your eyes are freaking closed. And so they see me as a young Christian who they can try to basically scare, right? And so today was just a lot of saying that I am invoking my right to silence under executive privilege in the Fifth Amendment. I'm the least racist person that many of you have ever met, by the way. I have no bigotry. I just try to see the world for where it is. I have no sort of army to hit back at them, right? Because I'm the young guy in the room, and they're not even going after any other young people. The other young people in the White House are total hoes and thoughts, like Cassidy Hutchinson and this Alyssa Farah Hobag, who are just terrible. I mean, they have no clue what they're saying.
They have no clue what they're saying. Weird, because I don't think that guy has any clue what he's saying. That guy there, his name is Garrett Ziegler, and he's a former White House aide, of course, under Donald Trump. Is he talking about hoes and thoughts? And I'm a young person, so I can say hoes and thoughts, and it makes some kind of sense in the situation. He's 27 years old, and he was talking to the January 6th committee about his ties to rigging the 2020 election. But for some reason, all that somehow made sense for him to talk about it. So there's two women that testified. They were once part of the Trump White House who were testifying and telling the truth about what had happened surrounding the January 6th buildup and planning and day of execution. But they're just hoes and thoughts. He continues on with this stupid, ridiculous rant. Let's go more.
I understand if you're frustrated that it wasn't recorded, because I don't give many notices, because I'm not a fame fag and the world's not revolving around me, and I don't expect people to, to set aside time every day to listen to me. I still don't understand how Ben Shapiro has people who listen to him every single day. I mean, I can't listen to that guy for 5 minutes. I don't know how. I mean, I know he's selling solar yarmulkes, but I don't know how anybody listens to that guy.
Where did Ben come in? What's going on?
It just gets worse. It got anti-Semitic at the end. It got weird. I mean, I believe in dunking on Shapiro, but a million other ways than that. I'll just continue and say, like, I know this seems like, who are you? You're an idiot. You're sort of a rando in the Trump White House, like so many randos. But this guy actually scares me. Like, this is the level of misogyny that Trumpism has created, right? That the MAGA movement has created. You can in the same breath say, I'm a Christian, and then call a colleague a hoe or a thought or a hoe bag or whatever it was. And that's perfectly fine for you because you're a Christian chauvinist, and you lean into that. I mean, this is a small Bannon in training, and that is the Trump effect, man. This is what has happened. This is what young men, especially young white straight men, are being told they need to behave like in order to get ahead, and no one ever punishes them. They never get in trouble. They fail up with this kind of misogyny, and then they win at the Supreme Court. And that is terrifying.
And they look at that example and go, well, I can still go this direction. Because again, no, this wasn't a secret recording where he's sitting in his apartment. He's talking to his other idiotic, misogynistic, racist friends. He's talking to the January 6th committee, talking like this. Let's go to details of why he was talking to them. Because again, his name is Garrett Ziegler. And he met with the House panel on Tuesday. Lawmakers were likely interested in hearing from him because of his ties to one of the most shocking episodes of this 2020 election saga, which is the White House meeting where then President Donald Trump's outside allies tried to convince him to declare martial law and use the military to seize voting machines. Imagine if you're part of that, and then you're asked about that, and you go in there and start talking about people who've been testifying, telling the truth, and calling them names and saying, I can't believe they're doing this. And oh yeah, let me go ahead and throw in Ben Shapiro there for just on top of it all. There's more, because he expressed in this recording that he thinks the committee is anti-white. Again, talking to the committee. He accused this January 6th House Select Committee of being, quote, anti-white without any evidence, of course. The only evidence I guess he's got from this perspective of being an idiot that he is that this 9-member panel is led by Benny Thompson, who's a Mississippi Democrat, and he's also black. You heard him talking about Bolsheviks and all that in it. And we know what the throwback that is. He's living in 1987, but fine, sure, cool. So the folks that he was going after, as I mentioned, are the folks that are speaking out about the reality of this. I don't know where he thinks this is gonna lead him, or if he's gonna, then the committee's gonna be like, oh, thank you. Take off, a good job. Thanks for their holes and thoughts comments. You've convinced us that you have nothing to do with this, and everything that was happening is on the up and up. But they will complain later and go, how could they come and invade my house, walk me out of my underwear? They knocked 4 times. It was very loud. My wife was afraid, and then they put me in handcuffs. This is gonna be the next step, and people will then somehow have sympathy for these people.
I hope they play it during the committee hearing during prime time, because people should hear this kind of language and this like sniveling a-hole, and the way that he feels like it's okay to say stuff like this, and know that this is the future of your Republican Party. This Ziegler dude, he's gonna run. He'll run for office and he'll probably win. And Republicans need to have their face, like a dog, put in their mess in order to understand what they've done.
He'll probably be one of those folks that's an aide and it's an advisor and continues to shape some other politician's approach and thought process, because these types of folks are good at being one step behind the scenes and being that one person that controls the levers and make sure they say it this way. This is our approach to make sure we appeal to more white supremacists, and now we can appeal to white nationalists as well too. But I'm not the face of it.
Right. No, it's big Stephen Miller energy, Jonah from Veep energy. If Jonah were also evil, if you watch.